Smile. It's why we have teeth.
What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me again for another video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the newest Hunger Games movie that came out, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So the director of this film, Francis Lawrence, also directed The Hunger Games Catching Fire, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 and 2, I Am Legend, Constantine, and so many more movies. So a lot of these movies that I've seen are really good movies, and this movie was really well done, although I do have a little bit of issues with some parts of the movie, more specifically the third act of the movie. Every movie has Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, depending on how long the movie is or short the movie is, but there's various parts to every movie. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but overall the movie was really well made, very well shot. The acting really made me feel. There were times where I felt choked up to the point where I was like, damn, I'm getting very emotional right now. I really felt a lot of what was happening in the movies because I love these Hunger Game movies, because the idea of picking two people from every district to fight to the death and claim a prize for that district and possibly get more money or more funding so that you can get more food for your family and possibly elevate yourself so that maybe you don't have to do these games or eventually you can do something else. But overall, you are just trapped in these games because this is like the origin of how these games came into play and how they have lasted for so long and advanced the way they did when we watched the first Hunger Games movie with Jennifer Lawrence. So even though I'm not the biggest fan of this actress, Rachel Ziegler did an amazing job playing Lucy Greybeard. She really brought it. The way she sang, the way how she portrayed her character coming from the district and putting on this like tough act, but when things got real, she eventually truly showed how she was feeling and just how her interaction was with Tom Blyth's character, who played Coriolanus Snow, who in essence runs the games in the future movies and later on in the timeline, in the books and everything. So we know he's going to be a bad guy. So the way how their chemistry was in this movie, especially because Tom Blyth's character, like a good guy, he genuinely wanted to either eradicate the games or save the tributes from the harm. He didn't understand why people needed to fight to the death, why it was such a spectacle for people. Of course, through the movie, we grow to understand how he became the game maker that he was in the later movies. Hunter Schafer played Tigress in the movie, and she was his cousin in this movie and really saw the future of things changing because of her cousin Coriolanus. But then I think she started to notice as well that there was a downward spiral happening. Later on in the movie, they don't really get a certain payoff that like I personally wanted to see, and I understand how the runtime went and how the movie flowed. I get why they did certain things, but during the third act, we kind of didn't really need the third act in essence. Let me take that back. The third act was more of like a description part of the movie to like kind of explain how the downfall happened and where things went and show you why he became how he was in these later movies. There was one interaction that happened later on between Coriolanus and Tigress that you could see that Tigress was kind of like, damn, that was pretty cool. But overall, the third act, man, it just kind of took me out a little bit. Aside from that, Hunter Schafer's performance as Tigress was really well done as well. Viola Davis played Dr. Volumnia Gall. Wow, Viola Davis kills it in any role she's in, but she really, really nailed this as the game maker in this movie. Wow, anytime she would interact with any of the students who, had to like partner with these tributes to be their mentors, oh my God, anytime she would interact with them or say certain things about the games, and when she got serious, I was just like, all right, yes ma'am. The way how she portrayed this character was phenomenal. The acting in this movie was not lacking at all. I would give the acting in this movie from everybody, every single person, 10 out of 10. Josh Andrews Rivera played Sejunis Plinth, who his father funded everything involving the games. And then there's a Plinth prize that these students can win if they succeed as a mentor and their tributes survive, or if they give them if they give the crowd a very good performance, even if their tributes die, but the crowd loves this tribute so much that so many people tuned in, they sent donations. All around, just kind of like a messed up thing here. It's fighting to the death at the entertainment of the wealthy. It just kind of goes to show the message behind it, that human beings, we are just greedy, ruthless, terrible, deceiving, backstabbing beings. When it's fight or flight, typically the people who fight eradicate anyone out of their way to make sure that they survive. That's what the Hunger Games showed. There's one part in the movie, no spoilers, but there's one part in the movie that, you know, I think is in the trailer as well, that Viola Davis's character says, what are the Hunger Games for? In the beginning, Blyth's character, he didn't really understand. He's like, what do you mean, what are they for? And by the end of the movie, she asks him, and he is just so calm, cool, and collected, and he just spews something out. Viola Davis's character just smiles at him and says a thing, and I'm just like, no! I already knew from the beginning who he was supposed to be, but the way how they show his character being in the beginning as this kid who genuinely cared about the tributes and didn't want the games to continue and wanted to change the games, you kind of care, and you're like, damn, you know, you're kind of rooting for him, but then you realize, yeah, bud, this is his downfall. This is how he becomes the ruthless man that he is. Overall, great movie. Very good cinematography. The acting, again, 10 out of 10. Just that third act really took me out. I get, again, the storytelling element behind it. You could have kind of told that story throughout the whole Hunger Games aspect too. Maybe like showing his emotions going on throughout and his downfall, but I get that in order for us to truly see how he became who he was in the other movies and later on in the books, that certain things needed to happen in the movie, which the third act came into play. I just think that during that third act, we could have moved things along a little bit faster and a little bit better. It just felt disjointed from the movie. It felt like the third act could have been part of like the second part of another movie. The way how they ended Act 1 and 2, I really thought the movie was over. Bam, like that was it. And I saw the title card for Act 3 and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, all right, well, let's see where this goes. Don't get me wrong, it's not that the third act was bad or stale or anything like that. It's not a bad movie by any means, but the third act did not flow very well with the rest of the movie. Thank you all so much for joining me for this video. Any and all support is appreciated. There's not many people who genuinely watch my videos and stuff, so for those of you who do and continue to show up, thank you so much. It means a lot. When I finally get to where I want to go and further, it'll be because of people like you, and I can't be any more grateful. If you aren't subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you can get a notification anytime there's a new video. Thanks again for watching, guys. Until the next one.